All right, let's give an update on the bike. I just got done installing the controller. This is the old one. You can see all the cables that come off of it, and they all route into here, into this plate box right here. And then down, a lot of them come back around here, and you got to snip the wires. And then I also had to wire in this because this broke. This is, you can see the part that broke there. This is the battery holder for the back battery. So that comes here. I rerouted it a different way than they had it. I like it more like that. And then it comes down the bottom. So a lot of cable management, a lot of, especially in that little case, there to get everything fit in there nicely was a big pain. The other thing I did, this cable, you can see it had electrical tape on the end. It also had a really thick, like 1/8 inch thick rubber coating on it to be like protective on both sides. So you had to cut that off just to get to that plug. So what I did is, the reason I rerouted this to this side, they had it coming out this side and then coming back. And that meant the plug was down here and they had to protect it. So what I did is I rerouted it so that I could put it in the box with the other stuff. And there is enough space in there. You got to be a little creative with it and fold it in different ways. But and then when you put this on, you want to make sure nothing's pinched. But at this point, my bike's operational. I'm charging her up, but it is working. I've confirmed. And very happy with that. So that's cool. And then the other thing I did, so I got a little problem. You can see this right here. That broke. But it doesn't seem to be very structural. It doesn't seem like it's got a lot of pressure on, like this spot here is okay at this point. It's just weird that that broke. So I moved my bag that carries my emergency stuff to the front and zip tied it there. Instead of being on the back. So I have nothing other than the battery on the rear rack. I got an email in to wire it on the rear rack. I really honestly don't want to have to replace that, because replacing that means you got to unmount this battery and the mounts on the battery, and they're these little bolts that go from the bottom, and they're really hard to get in. To redo this was 4, and it was a pain in the butt. There's 4 more. It would take a long time. So I may leave it, even if they send me one, until I see it's more compromised, and then I would replace it when I'd have to. But that's the Wired bike update. I got to say, I'm really happy with Wired. I love the bike still, even though there's things like the broken rack. That's the life we live nowadays, is cheap metal. But I still love the bike, and I'm looking forward to a ride possibly Monday. If I go into work Monday, and I'm thinking I am. So I'm looking forward to that. God bless.